Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Heritage Junior School, where Cherry Hill East Cougars are hosting Cherry Hill West Lions in a varsity soccer game. This will be a clash between crosstown rivals, always an exciting match. I will be joined today by Barry Schwartz in the booth, and we hope you enjoy. It should be a fun one. West coming out in the opening moments at midfield. It's Joe Molinaro passing it along to Tom Ben. And taken away by Tony DeCesar of East, who looks to move it along to Martin Jensen. Andrew Jensen, rather, his twin brother. So move it ahead to Jason Koenig, and a roughing penalty is called. Warren Lisak puts it in play, looking down the left wing for Andrew Jensen. It's a high kick on West. And Andrew Jensen will put it back in play. I'm here along with Barry Schwartz. Well, welcome, Barry. Nice to have you with us. What do you expect to see today?
Well, on this fine afternoon over here at Heritage School, we're going to see a lot of hard-paced action. Both teams are doing not off to a great start, but there's a lot of rivalry between two schools.
East is 2-2 and is struggling offensively lately without scoring a goal in the last 2.5 games. I'm sure that they're going to have to improve on that if they plan on winning this game. Now we're back at play, and a handball on Nick Sisonis for West. Steve Torre will put it back in play. We have some changes in East lineup, and we'll be getting back to that in a moment. Torre puts it in play to Lisak, who kicks it back to midfield. John Brand crosses it to Tony DeCesar. Moving along to his left. Gets a shot on net, and it is turned aside by West Tom White. There's no number. West with the inbound pass to number 31, Mike Thiel. Kicks it ahead towards midfield, looking for 42, Brian Bianco. But it's knocked out of bounds by East. West ball. Number 31 for West, that is Mike Thiel again. Moving along, past midfield, taken by East Tony DeCesar, who turns and puts it out of bounds. West ball. Taken by Joe Molinaro. Now taken by East. Andrew Jensen with the inbounds, looking along to Dan Navis, who's new to East as a student exchange from Brazil. Ball moves in the crease, taken by Jason Koenig.
Right off the back.
Knocked out of bounds by West.
Right off the bat, Andy, we can see the hard-paced action here. Neither team is going to give up any chances.
Martin Jensen puts it across to, now center to Pat Thomas, who heads the ball deep, and Pat Thomas showing the good hustle along the end line, but is unable to control. Ball goes out of bounds. That will be a 6 kick for West, which will be taken by number 42, Brian Bianco. Moves along to West left, looking for Nick Sisonis, but it's out of his reach, goes out of bounds. East will take possession. Steve Turr will take the inbounds pass. Moves along looking for Jensen, but West has control. Moves it along ahead, but turned back by John Brand, who kicks it to the goalie, Earl Walker. Earl is one of the changes here for East, who's replacing Mike Mansour in the starting lineup. Mike got off to a solid start with 2 consecutive shutouts, but then struggled in his last 2 outings, both of which were losses.
I think we're going to see a lot of good things coming out of Earl today. He's really been practicing hard. He's going to do well for the East squad.
In the meantime, East has possession. Andrew Jensen puts it in play with the inbound pass, looking for Dan Davis. But it's off of Dan, and West will have possession. Ron Zippel back on D for West, trying to move it along, but now centered for East. Now taken by Joe Molinaro. Now to Pat Thomas. Puts it out for Dan Neves, who tries to get a shot. Easily turned aside by Tom White, who will pick it up and punt it. Nice punt by White. Gets it over the midfield line, looking for number 47. Is now crossed to number 33, who's being defended by Steve Turer. Turns and shoots, but deflected off of John Brand. And now Martin Jensen down the sideline, crosses it to Turer. Turer moves it along for Warren Lisak. Lisak ahead for Jason Koenig. Koenig over the midfield line, but swept aside by number 46 for West. Out of bounds. East possession. Koenig along the sideline. He's tripped up, and he's called again for a roughing penalty. It's the second of the game. Refs are not happy with that. Steve Turer will take the indirect kick to Lisak, who it's a nice shot, but turned aside by Tom White. Good effort by Warren.
Oh, without a doubt. He really has been a quality player since his underclassmen at East.
Warren with another fine play there. Moves along for Jason Koenig. Now to Britchko. Tries to ward off several defenders, but it's taken by Tom White. Now West with possession. Taken quickly back by East. East has dominated possession so far.
Oh, yeah.
Early in this half. As number 46 for West tries to get something going. Now 31 moves along the midfield to 42. Brian Bianco. Now taken by number 47. Let us remind you, West fans, that we currently do not have the entire roster from West, so we will try to do our best with names as usual, and we apologize for any errors. Now it's East ball. Martin Jensen puts it in play to Dan Neves. Turned aside by West, but taken by Pat Thomas. Crosses it looking for Andrew Jensen, but cut off by West. Pat Thomas tries to regroup at the midfield line to Tony DeCesar. Tony moves it along. Good defense by West. Now taken by 39, Tom Ben. Moves it along for Joe Molinaro. Now to Bill Anisek. Looking ahead for Molinaro, who's pushed off. Pushed off by John Brand. And penalty called on East rather. And West will get the indirect kick. Taking it will be, I'm not sure yet. He centers it, looking for 33, Bill Anisek. It's turned aside. But now, still deep in the zone, in the crease. That's number 40, Nick Susonis. Good defense by Steve Turer, but it goes out of bounds. It will be West possession. Susonis puts it in play. It's number 7, John Pearson. Off last touch by West. Jensen puts it in play, looking for Jason Koenig. Taken away by Jake Wilking, but he cannot control it, and it goes out of bounds. Steve Turer puts it back in play with the inbounds pass. Illegal inbound pass. He'll have to take that again. Puts it in play, looking for Koenig, who's out-jumped by John Pearson. Now Jensen looking to gain control, but Turer now gets it ahead to Mike Britchko. Puts it to Dan Nevis. Taken again by Britchko, who looks along to his right wing for Jason Kenning, but overpasses him, and it goes out of bounds. West possession.
You can really see the determination both teams faces. You know, they're really out to kill, for lack of a better term.
But so far, it looks as if East has dominated offensively here. They haven't produced many shots, but they've kept the ball in their end for most of the first half here. Now as the ball moves towards midfield, it's taken by Martin Jensen. Up ahead to Koenig, who heads the ball, taken by 46 for West. Puts it back to White, throws it out to Ron Zippel. Looking ahead for Tom Ben.
Ooh.
But taken by Brand, who was tripped up by number 33, Bill Anisek. Roughing is called, and kick is quickly put back to Walker, who punts. That punt, not as good as they usually are, so short of midfield. Now Mike Thiel looks to control across to number 40, Nick Susanis, who has the shot, but is unable to get it on net. Sails wide, and over the end line, East will have the 6th kick, which will be taken by Steve Tour. This could be one of Steve's best aspects of his game on these kicks. Very strong athlete, strong leg. As I'm sure we'll see here. It goes a fine kick well over the midfield line to Kenning, but Kenning is off sides. And John Pearson will put it in play for West. Quickly taken by Mike Britchko. He looks ahead for Nevis. Nevis can't control. Now he has it. Moving along center for Jason Kennig. Cross it back to Nevis, who gets a shot, but deflected off a West player, number 46, and sails over the net. I believe that was last touch by East is what they're going to call it. They did not apparently catch the deflection. So West will get the kick. It's a kick short of midfield. Lisak for East takes it, looking along for Kenning, but taken by Susanis, or Pearson rather. Off of Lisak, Pearson puts it in play. To Mike Thiel, looking ahead, but taken by Pat Thomas, who puts it ahead to Kenning, and then the Lisak, now Kenning along his right sideline, who gets along to Martin Jensen. Jensen looks to cross it to Dan Nevis, but he's out-jumped by number 36 by West, Ron Zippel. Good defensive play, now taken by Tom White. White with the punt near midfield. Puts it ahead to 47. A nice punt. He moves along. But he's turned aside by Tor. As Tor had possession, it was kicked away by number 47. Out of bounds. East possession. Now some of the other changes we were talking about are due to injury. Mike Lean is out for the game and did not dress due to strained ligaments in his leg. Adam Shane will be seeing limited action today due to soreness in his ankles. It's been a continuing problem for him this year, nagging injuries on his ankles. So East will have to really pick up their games.
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to do it. They're a team that's lived with injuries before and has really done well. And I expect to see a good season out of them.
Getting back to play, Tony DeCesar will take the indirect. Gets it ahead to Nevis. Now a shot right on Tom White, who makes a fine save. Of the two goalies, Tom White and Earl Walker, White has definitely seen more action. As he punts it along, taken by 31, Mike Thiel. Now Kenning, who crosses it to Britchko, can't handle it. It's turned aside by West defense, but out of bounds. Jason Kenning will put it back in play to Martin Jensen. Martin Jensen unable to control, sends it past the end line. West will have the kick.
Yeah, Andy, while East has been able to keep it in Lions territory for most of this first half, you can see the real quality of the Lions fullbacks. They seem to be holding up well, even under the pressure.
Play resumes. We're around midfield. East possession. Martin Jensen puts it in play to Lisak, who passes it quickly to Lisak, but turned aside by John Pearson. Out of bounds, last touch by West. East possession. Lisak will take the inbounds pass to Jensen. Jensen crosses it for Britchko. His effort is thwarted. Turned back towards midfield. Brand puts it ahead, but out of bounds. John Pearson tries to put it back in play, but it has an illegal throw as it hit the line before going in play. Gets it again. Ball sails out, last touch by West, near midfield. He's looking to make some substitutions. And ref has changed his call. West ball. I don't know who touched it for East. But that time it was touched by Steve Torer. And number 40, Nick Susonis, will inbound again. To 33, Bill Anisek. Has it taken away by Lisak. Puts it ahead, but taken it a little past midfield by number 46. Puts it ahead for 31, Mike Thiel. Now booted ahead by Ron Zabel, looking down the West right sideline for number 39, Tom Ben. Looks at center, but it's turned away by Tony DeCesar. Kicks it forward, looking for Dan Navis. Navis has the ball now, approaching midfield. Centers it, looking for Lisak. But John Pearson turns it aside. And there's an offsides call on West. That may have been West's first offensive opportunity, but I believe number 33, John Anisek, was a little bit too anxious there and went offsides.
Yeah, it's always a shame when the penalties kind of cost you those big plays.
Will be East kick. John Brand will put it in play. Brand looking ahead for Andrew Jensen, who takes it over the midfield line, down East left sideline. He crosses, looking for Lisak, but it drifts into a crowd, and it's put back to Tom White, the West goaltender. White will punt it, where he gets it ahead to Ron Zippel. A nice head ball back, looking for number 40. 47? He was looking for number 47. Out of his reach, but last touch by East. Now Jason Kenning puts it ahead, where it's taken by number 46 of West. Now Jensen comes out of that pile. Now to Lisak. Turned aside by number 4, Nick Sasonis, but out of bounds. Now East will make some substitutions. That's
3 out. Warren Lisak's out. And so is Mike Britchko.
Mike Britchko will leave, as will Dan Navis. Replacing them will be number 5 and Adam Shane. Tony DeCesar down east left sideline, looking to center, taken away by West. Put ahead for 47. Looks across it to Susanis. Taken away by Jensen. Jensen looking for Shane out of his reach. Turned away by West. West now has control. Number 5 for East is Dave Pactois, who is new to the East lineup, replacing the injured Mike Lean for today's game. Usually a junior varsity player, but called up for the game, so to speak. Now Martin Jensen unable to gain control of that, taken by Nick Sonis. Looks to put it ahead, but off the head of Tor, and then off the foot of Jason Koenig. Nick Sonis will put it back in play.
39 out.
Some East substitutions.
37 in.
West substitutions. Tom Ben is replaced by
Number 37.
number 37.
We'll get your name on him momentarily.
Nick Sonis puts it in play once again. Jason Koenig tries to gain control, but kicks it out of bounds. Sonis will once again take the inbounds pass to Pearson, who tries to cross it, but taken by Adam Shane. Looking for Jason Koenig on his right, but a little bit out of his way. It sails out of bounds. West possession. John Pearson puts it in play to Nick Sonis. Tries to get it ahead to 33. Bill Anasak, but turned away by Tor. Now back near midfield. Pat Thomas for East takes it. Moves it along to his left for Jensen, Andrew, but out of his reach and right into the possession of Tom White, the West goaltender.
I think we're seeing it even up a little more penetration into the Cougar territory.
Tom punts it, taken near midfield by East Pat Thomas, making a nice stop. Thomas has it taken away by 32. Joe Molinaro, but now Lisak tries to move it along for East. Looking to his left for Adam Shane, finds him. To Jensen, not taken away by 37. Turned aside, out of bounds. East ball. Lisak will take the inbound pass. Lisak tries to get it in the center for Shane. And now Koenig tries a turnaround shot, but that's turned aside. Taken by Pactois. Now West finally moving the ball deep in the East territory, but taken away by John Brand, who puts it back to Earl Walker. Earl will take the punt. And another punt shorter than Earl's usual. And it's taken by Nick Sonis by West. Good defensive move. We have another substitution. That's
11 out.
Warren Lisak being replaced by
6.
Natal Sheth, number 6. Steve Turer puts it in play. Looking for Koenig, but taken by Sonis West. Now put ahead by Martin Jensen. Then moved ahead by Jake Wilking, but out of bounds. East possession. Tor with the inbound pass. Taken away by Molinaro, who looks ahead for 47. 47 back to Molinaro. Along the right for number 33, Bill Anasak. Anasak looks to center. It's turned aside momentarily by Brand. Not far. Nick Sonis. Could say partial shot on net. But high and wide, and it goes out of bounds. East will have the kick. And this will be taken by David Pactois, number 5. A new addition to the varsity squad for today's game. There's the kick. Short of midfield, taken by Jensen. Martin Jensen of the Jensen twins. That play. Meanwhile, 31 for West. Mike Thiel looks to move it along to John Pearson. Looking ahead for 47. Turned aside by Pat Thomas. And out of bounds. Put in play by West to Nick Sasonis. Off the head of Steve Torr. West possession. Nick Sasonis looking along for 47. Turned aside by Pactois. Tries to get ahead to Adam Shane. Shane is called for a trip. And Molinaro puts it in play for West. Brand looking to clear it out of the way. He's unsuccessful, but a weak shot trickles into Earl. Takes it and punts it. It's Tony DeCesar, who is pushed from behind. And East will have the kick. Pactois down East left sideline to Adam Shane. Make that Andrew Jensen, who moves along, trying to shut off a West defender. Tries to center it, but not quite able to get there. Now we have another substitution for East. Yin Kubayashi will be replacing Jason Koenig. That's number 13 for number 9. Corner taken by Martin Jensen. Side by West, but taken by Torr. Torr gets a shot on goal. Tom White with the easy save. Rolls it along for 46. West moves it to John Pearson. Now to Molinaro. Molinaro moving towards midfield, puts it ahead for 33, John Anisek. It's out of his reach, taken by East Pactois. Now to Tony DeCesar, who's tripped up. West gets a shot on goal. But Earl easily gains possession. Earl having trouble punting today, it seems, possibly because of the stronger than usual winds. West with possession taken by Steve Torr. East, who has it taken by Sasonis, but stolen. John Pearson crosses. Turned away by Pactois. He's looking for Yin Kubayashi, who takes it, trying to shut off a couple West defenders. He's unable to right there. And number 31, Mike Thiel, back to 46. And he puts it back to Tom White, who will try to regroup the West offensive agenda. It's 32 for West. Joel Molinaro puts it back to number 30, Jake Wilkin.
Yeah, regardless of how deep the Cougars penetrate into the Lions' territory, we really see the power and the way these Lions defenders really play together and get that ball out. I think they're doing a great job out here.
Back to play here. Jensen has it taken away by West along West's right sideline to 47, who centers or tries to center, instead takes a shot into the hands of Earl Walker, who lost the handle of it there for a second, but regains before the oncoming West player, Bill Anisek, could get to the ball. Earl takes the punt, hits off a West player.
Jason Koenig in for 19. Which Jensen is
Jason Kenning will be returning for East and replacing Martin Jensen. Both of those players are part of a East youth movement. Several young players, those only juniors, already on varsity. Back to play. Kenning moves along. Sheds off a West defender. Tries the center, but has it deflected away by West. John Pearson for West now has control. Moving towards midfield, taken away by Tony DeCesar and Pat Thomas. DeCesar has possession right now. Looks along for Andrew Jensen. Overshoots him, but Yin Kubayashi with the good hustle. Gets it back to Jensen. Crosses it down the center for Thomas. Thomas attempts a shot, wide, and over the end line. Be West ball. It'll be substitution for West.
39 in.
Number 39 checks in, replacing number 37. That's Tom Ben returning for Cherry Hill West. That's Tom Ben returning and number 40, Nick Sonis, leaving. Not number 37. It remains in the game. Back near midfield. Brand getting away with a little bit of foul play possibly there. Holding up the West player.
Excellent save by Tom Wright.
Tom White gets along to number 39, Tom Ben. Looks ahead to 33, Bill Anisek. And Anisek once again is accused of being offside. It's an offside play on West. The second of the half. Both of them may have cost them quality scoring chances. And East will have possession. Steve Torra puts them in play. You can see Steve's strong leg there. As I mentioned earlier, Yin Kubayashi being defended by 36 for West, Ron Zippel. And Tony DeCesar comes out of that. Puts it back to Jensen, who overshoots the net. Out of bounds, West possession. If you are just joining us, we are in the first half of the East-West varsity soccer game here at Heritage School. East is the host team. And we have a 0-0 score. Andrew Christopher here along with Barry Schwartz.
Yeah, again, Andy, you can see the real determination in the players. Regardless of the unseasonably cold temperatures today, these guys are really giving it all their best.
Well, this is actually a lot better soccer weather than what we had earlier in the week when it was about 80 degrees and very humid. Today, more in the low 60s, nice breeze, just what the players enjoy. And we have a East substitution. Andrew Jensen is replaced by Dan Navis.
Oh, it is colder than what it's supposed to be. Yeah, but this is unseasonable.
Coming out of all this, West with the kick up towards midfield where it's taken by Thomas. Pactua in pursuit of 37 for West. Put ahead for 43. Now taken away by John Brand. Looks to get something going for East, but he shoots that ball out of bounds, and West will have possession. No last touch by West. Pactua puts it in play. To Neves. Now to Kubayashi. Now back to Pactua. To Kubayashi, who's overpassed. And Anisek moves it along for number 39, Tom Ben, but slightly out of his reach, out of bounds. East possession. Inbounds pass is thrown right to the goalie, Earl Walker, who will try to improve his punting game here. And he does so. Gets it very close to midfield, where a push is called on Metal Sheth. pushing off there on John Pearson. And ref did not miss that. Pearson will put it in play. Or no, he won't. He fakes taking it. And now moves along the left sideline with the ball. Looks to center. Gets it on Earl, who seemed to misjudge that a little bit, but was able to regain his composure in time to gain possession. As a punt by Walker. Up ahead to Neves. Puts it ahead to Adam Shane near midfield. Back to Thomas. Looks ahead for Tony DeCesar, who's turned away by number 46 for West. A good defensive play. West is definitely striving on their defense here, as they've produced little offense. Not only little offense, little quality offense. So the ball's back to Earl Walker, who shanks that punt.
Almost
badly.
near the booth.
And into the crowd. West possession. There's an inbound pass from West, and a penalty is called on East. I'm not sure what the call was. But
I'm
Tom
sure.
Ben puts in play on indirect kick. Tony DeCesar for East tries to move it ahead. We have a little head ball exhibition out here. And out of all that comes number 30, who puts it ahead for number 39, Tom Ben, who's defended well by Metal Sheth, coming along East left sideline. Looking ahead for Koenig, but taken by West. John Pearson to 46. To 32, Joe Molinaro. Now to 31, Mike Thiel. Back to Molinaro. Now out of that comes Metal Sheth. Crosses it to Adam Shane. Shane crosses it for Neves. Good defense there by West. Neves is unable to gain control. If he was to gain control, there was Jason Koenig breaking down the center. And we might have seen some offensive movement for East. Some subs.
In, 33 out.
Number 47 for West will replace number 33, John Anisek. Anisek for West really has their only offensive chances, but was part of the 2 offsides plays. Unfortunate for West. And on the other hand, very fortunate for East. Back to play, 32. Molinaro moves along center for 31. Mike Thiel. It's turned away by East defense. Dan Neves down the center to Yin Kubayashi. Kubayashi is repelled. Another fine defensive play for West. Number 36, Ron Zippel, turns to the side and out of bounds. East will have possession. Dan Neves will put it in play. Looking for Tony DeCesar. DeCesar crosses. Stop made by Tom White. There was a call made. Anyway. So if it was to score, it would not have counted. West possession. Pearson puts it in play. Pearson puts it in play, rather. To number 36. Ron Zippel. Head to West. First good penetration, possibly. Their first legal penetration. Now across the center. And we have a scramble in front of the net. And over the goal, barely. East escapes.
Almost certain.
Disaster.
I was waiting for that. But fortunately for the Cougars, they are able to escape that. And the ball comes back
Tom
into
Ben
play.
puts the corner. Nice corner. A little bit of a banana looking for number 40, Nick Sassonis, who was out-jumped by a couple inches. Otherwise, he would have had a goal. And the West is finally moving offensively here. And 2 very good scoring chances in only a short time, which is more than what they've had in the entire first half.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Now we have a stoppage for too many soccer balls on the field. We have some.
What rule does that come under there, Andy?
I'm not sure. We'll have to get the official Soccer Federation rule book on that. Too many soccer balls on the field.
Timeout.
And that is halftime.
Halftime?
What a way to end the half within too many soccer balls on the field call.
Yeah, you don't see too many of those there, Andy.
Some rowdy fans kicking the ball into the field right at the end of the half. Good timing. Good timing. Bring some excitement to the fans.
Right.
And at halftime, we have a scoreless tie, 0-0. But plenty of action here late in the half.
Oh, absolutely. That last drive by the West Lions gave the Cougars something to think about here at halftime.
And we will be back after this message.
When I was a kid, I saw myself as Bill Cosby scientist. I begged my mother and father to buy me a chemistry set for Christmas, and I was having the time of my life until the fire. I mean, my chance for the Nobel Prize went up in a big puff of smoke. The first fire was nothing compared to my folks. I thought they were going to explode. I never saw the chemistry set again. My father put it away somewhere. But now I wish I had, because today scientists and engineers are having all the fun. I mean, how would you like to explore outer space or discover a new planet or maybe find a dinosaur skeleton or a way to make sick people well again? Yeah. Did you ever think about diving to the bottom of the ocean in a submersible and actually getting paid for it? It doesn't matter if you're a boy, a girl, rich or poor, or any color. If you love science and math, you can do any of these things. You know, I might even give chemistry another try if I could get my dad to tell me where he hid that chemistry set.
We are ready to start the second half of a scoreless tie here at Heritage Junior School between Cherry Hill East and Cherry Hill West. Highly defensive, but nonetheless exciting first half. Don't you agree, Barry?
Oh, without a doubt. You can really see the determination in these guys' faces. You know, they really want to win. You know, West being with a 1-2 record and East being 2-2, one of these wins would really help these squads out and really boost the moral pride of each team more than anything.
And we are underway here. West taking the opening tap. And as always, we've switched ends. Tom White will be defending the goal to our left. Earl Walker, the goal to our right. Martin Jensen down East right sideline. Steps out of bounds with the ball. East possession. Nick Sassonis puts it in play.
7.
Now John Pearson will take the kick. Pearson puts it in play. 30. Jake Wilking looking to get some scoring opportunity going. He's unable to. We're back near midfield. Dan Neves looking for Jensen to his right. And Jensen is swept out on that play. A roughing call on West. Martin Jensen puts it in play. Neves in the center tries to head it into the goal. That's turned aside. Now Lisak trying to get a shot on goal. And now back to Tour. Gets it ahead to Koenig, who shoots it right wide to the right. That is the first scoring chance for either team here in the opening moments of the second half. 0-0 tie. Andrew Christopher along with Barry Schwartz for this Cable 18 Sports presentation. Pearson for West puts it in play to number 30, Jake Wilking. To 47. Taken back by Earl Walker, who had an erratic first half punting, shanked a couple out of bounds. That was a fine punt, went out of center. Koenig tries to move along for East offense, but he's turned aside by number 46. Now taken by 31, Mike Thiel. Looking down to his left for Nick Sasonis, who's defended by Steve Torr. Neither of whom touched the ball. So the last touch by West. East possession. Torr inbounds it, but taken away by 31. Mike Thiel. Now to Sasonis, who gets a nice centering pass to 47. A close call again for East. 39 now centers it. Swept away by Tony DeCesar. And now we have a penalty call on West. Number 36 guilty of the infraction. And Tony DeCesar puts it in play to Andrew Jensen. Now ahead to Koenig. Koenig moves along, moving towards center into a wall of West defenders. Now out to his left is Andrew Jensen, who's tripped up. Whistle is blown. Jensen will put it in play. I want to see if... No, Jensen will be replaced now, Tony DeCesar. Let's see if he will try that banana sort of shot. He doesn't. Instead, it's taken by Neves at the top of the crease. And now turned away by Tom White, who had a fine first half. Now midfield is John Brand. Looking ahead, now back. Number 31, Mike Thiel. Ahead to number 47. Good defense by Brand. Now Nick Sasonis comes out of that pack with possession. Looks to move past East tight defense. But we'll have to turn it back to number 32, Joe Molinaro, who centers it for number 37 or 47. Takes a shot, but it's wide and high. Will be East possession.
So I think we're seeing a lot more switching, and the ball is not staying down on one team's territory too much in this half.
Torr takes the kick, short of midfield, and over the head of Mike Britchko, but Kennan comes out of it, looking to his left for Andrew Jensen, who makes a fine hustle there, which is one thing that seemed to be lacking in the East last contest against Cherokee, where they're out-hustled, and as a result lost 3-0. So I'm sure that they've been working on that the rest of the week since Tuesday to improve their game. And it seems like so far they have. Although they haven't scored, they've had plenty of opportunities, and the defense has been fairly tight most of the game, despite a few breakdowns where West had some quality scoring chances. Back to play. Kenning down the right side. Looking the center to Lisak, who shoots it wide right. The ball may have been deflected off a West player, and it was, as far as the ref's call goes. And they will, as a result, have a corner kick, which will be taken by Martin Jensen. Jensen crosses, but that's now back to Jensen. Looks to get a shot on goal. Just gets a little dribbler, taken by Tom White. White will punt. Short of midfield, but accurate. But number 47 cannot get control. Out of bounds. .36 out. We have a substitution for West, number 36. Ron Zippel is replaced by number 35, Chris Ergood. Inbound pass taken by East. Actually taken by West, but stolen by East. Now back to West. Number 32, Joe Molinaro, looking ahead for Anasek. But out of that comes Andrew Jensen for East, who centers it to Jason Koenig. Koenig tries to get it. Centering pass to Neves, who's out-jumped by the West defense. And West comes out towards midfield, looking to put it ahead to number 47. And for the third time in the game, I believe we have an offsides call on West. And as you might be able to hear in the far background, East coach Carl Molman showing his dissatisfaction with some of East defense, where they're letting players get behind them. And although they were offsides, coaches just do not want to see that happen. Because if they were not offsides, West could have an easy scoring chance and would leave goaltender Earl Walker vulnerable to West's powerful offense.
48, 45, 46.
It's John Ergood for West. Looking for number 33. Anasek.
Starting off the half, it seems like the Cougars are playing a more aggressive game, but I'm sure that won't hold up the whole time with West. You never know what you can expect from them.
John Ergood is replaced. That's number 35 by number 36, Ron Zippel. Now near midfield is number 30 for West. Now 31 to Joe Molinaro. And alongside to Tom Ben. Ben looks to get it past Kenning, but is unable to. Kenning puts it ahead in the cross, looking for Lisak, but it's taken away by number 46 for West. And moved along to number 32, Joe Molinaro, who has a legitimate scoring chance for West, but shoots wide right. Another break for East. East really getting a lot of close calls here. West has definitely had the opportunities to score, but I've yet to get one in the net. Tor puts that one in play to Britchko over midfield, taken by John Pearson. Looks to get it ahead midfield, but it's taken away by Britchko. Now the Kenning. Down to his right to Yin Kobayashi. His effort is thwarted by number 46. To midfield, number 32, Joe Molinaro. Looks ahead for Nick Susanis. Instead taken by number 47 for West. Now back at midfield, that's number 30 for West, Jake Wilking. To 31, Mike Thiel. Thiel moving along to his left, looking to center to 47. Ball goes off his head to the right and saved by number 33, Bill Anasek. And shot on goal there by number 32, Joe Molinaro. An easy save by Earl Walker, but nevertheless very important. Now Pat Thomas crosses it to Kenning. Kenning moves towards midfield around number 31, Mike Thiel. He crosses it to Martin, who puts it back to Tor. Now to Martin. Jensen, who looks for Kenning, but turned away by West. Relentless defense. And out of bounds.
5 in, 21 out.
Steve Tor has been replaced for East
No, he's in. 5's in. 21 out.
by Tony DeCesar. Ball's in West offensive end of the field now for the first time in quite a while. Cleared out by West defense. Over midfield, where it will be taken by Pat Thomas, who puts it back to Earl Walker, who will let East players regroup, and he will punt the ball. And that's another
Wide
poor punt
shot.
by Earl. Earl struggling
into the
today. I
booth
don't know
there.
if it's because of the cold temperatures or possibly the wind, but I'm sure Coach Molman is not happy with the punting by Earl so far. And I'm sure Earl himself is not happy with the punting.
But yet he's doing well in the goal. I think Coach Mullen will take that into account.
Back to the action. Britchko moves it along over midfield to Dan Neves. Neves looking along to get it to his right. He's defended by number 30, Jake Wilking. And Kenning will look to help him out. To Jensen. Now back to Kenning. Now Jensen gets it across to
Right.
Lisak. Lisak gets a shot on goal, but it's easily turned aside by Tom White, who's made another fine save. As we continue our scoreless tie here in our second half, Cherry Hill West playing Cherry Hill East here in the annual soccer game. Andrew DeChristopher here, along with Barry Schwartz. If you've just joined us, a lot of good defense, but yet a lot of excitement. Both offenses have had their chances, but neither have been able to capitalize.
That may be because of the skill of the two goalies here. Tom Wright especially. He's doing a real good job in goal for the Lions.
Getting back to play, Jason Kenning is being replaced. And looks like he needs a breather. He's being replaced by Adam Shane, who, as we said earlier in the game, is nursing sore ankles and has not seen the amount of action that he usually does. Pearson looks to move alongside for West, but he cannot control an inbounds, and East has possession. And the ball. Last touch is a West player on that inbounds pass, and Warren Lisak will put it in play. The long inbound pass, looking for Adam Shane in the center, but turned aside by the West defense. And once again out of bounds, Lisak will again put it in play. That turned aside by Joe Molinaro, as West continues their fine defensive effort here. At that time, the ball is out of bounds over the end line, so East will have a corner kick. It's taken by Lisak, and it trickles past West wall of defenders, but is cleared out by their secondary unit. And now cleared out by Nick Sasonis, who makes a fine defensive play back towards midfield, where John Brand looks to take control, looking ahead for Lisak, but it's taken away by Sasonis, who puts it ahead for number 47. Down to his left, Brand with the fine defense, puts it back to Earl Walker, who quickly rolls it out to John Brand. Brand now passes it ahead to Lisak, tries to move it across midfield. And as he does so, it is kicked out of bounds by West, inbounded by Lisak, looking ahead for Neves, but turned aside by number 30, Jake Wilking, who abruptly kicks the ball out of bounds.
And over the Cougar bench.
Britchko moves it deep in the east end, but cleared out by number 43 for West.
In this part of the second half especially, Andy, we can see a lot more penetration by the East Cougars into the West territory.
Although they've had a lot of penetration, they haven't had many quality scoring chances in this half. I thought they had more in the first half.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because I thought they took advantage of their opportunities in the first half better, and Tom White had to make several more difficult saves.
Well,
Here in the second half, as you said, they've had a lot more penetration, but the shots have been sort of trickling in on Tom White, who's had little trouble handling. Now West inbounds. Britchko moves along looking for Adam Shane, who's called for a trip. West possession. Number 46 puts it in play. Looking for 33, Bill Anisek. We're back towards midfield. Tony DeCesar. Tony DeCesar, who's trying to play defense and is held on that play. And it's quickly called by the ref, who has not missed very much here. I have to give credit to the referees who've done a fine job here so far. As number 33, Bill Anisek, loses control, out of bounds. East possession.
15 out, Britchko.
Jason Koenig returns for Mike Britchko. So for the first time today, or at least the first time this half, Jason Koenig will be teaming up with Adam Shane on offense, trying to get East to score here in the second half, so they can secure their third win in 5 games. Martin Jensen moves it along, but turned aside by John Pearson. Now to Adam Shane, who moves it. So he's also turned aside by Pearson. Puts it ahead for Nixosonis. Moves down, tries the center, but cleared out for a moment by Pat Thomas. Now taken by Jensen, who takes the pass from Lisak. Now ahead to Koenig. Down their left sideline, taken away by number 43 for West. And John Brand puts a slow roller back to Earl. Dangerous play there, as West was in hot pursuit for that one, and it barely got to Earl before West's offense was able to get there. Ref blows play dead.
Sudden outburst here of West offensive. The Lions only can hope that it turns into something. So far, they haven't been able to capitalize on any of these penetrations.
Pactwall puts that in play. Down the right sideline for Jensen, now back near midfield. Number 32, Joe Molinaro. Now off of Martin Jensen. West possession. Nick Sasonis will put it back in play. To number 37, Tim Fleming, who looks across it to number 43, but taken out by Yin Kobayashi. Puts it ahead, looking for Jason Koenig. A little too far. Taken by 46 for West. Who gets it back to his goalie, Tom White. And White puts it out to John Pearson. Looking to get something going here offensively for West. They've been unsuccessful. We are deadlocked in a 0-0 tie. We are well into the second half.
Yeah, unfortunately for both squads, the scoring opportunities have been few and far between. (39 in, 31 in, 37 out, 43 out.
upon the substitutions, Nick Sassonis will put it in play. Looking for Molinaro, but it's over his head. Cleared out by John Brand. Ref did not like what he saw by the West offense, and East will have possession. Pactois will take the kick. Sassonis for West moves it back into their offensive territory, but not for long. As another call is made by the ref, and Pactois will once again put it in play. Looking ahead for Adam Shane, out of his reach. And now we have some substitutions for East. Warren Lesak.
13 out.
Warren Lesak and Yin Kubayashi being replaced by, scratch that, Warren Lesak and Martin Jensen will check out and be replaced by Matal Sheth and Todd Block. Block takes the inbound pass, looking for Koenig. Instead taken by Shane. Back to Koenig, who loses his footing. Matal is tripped up, and we have a call. East will get the indirect. Let's change that to a direct kick. We taken by Yin Kubayashi. Yin shoots it slightly over the net. And there's another scoring opportunity by the wayside for East. And West will have possession. John Pearson for West crosses it to number 30, Jake Wilkin. Moves along to his left, now in the center for Bill Anisek. Anisek moves along to his right, kicks it off the back of number 32, Joe Molinaro, as he was trying to get the shot, and East comes away with it. Towards midfield, Jason Koenig. For East, but taken away by number 7, John Pearson, who puts ahead of 47. Now back to the East goalie, Earl Walker, who's punting into a stiff breeze today and has had a little bit of trouble, but has otherwise done a fine job of goaltending today. Tony DeCesar to Andrew Jensen. Near midfield being defended by number 39, Tom Ben. Jensen tripped up. Penalties called. Tony DeCesar will take the kick.
Today's attendance, 78.
Ball back in play deep in East territory. Cleared out by West defense. Taken up by number 32, Joe Molinaro. To 31, Mike Thiel. Now to Nick Sassonis. Looks for the centering pass, but taken away by East. Yin Kubayashi, along with Todd Block. Kicked out of bounds by West.
Just a note for you trivia buffs out there. Today's attendance here at Heritage Junior School, 78.
I don't know if that's a sellout. I don't know what the maximum capacity of these two small bleachers are. But it looks like standing room only.
Yeah, that's quite filled this afternoon.
Well, the fans always like to come out and see this crosstown rivalry. It's always a great game. And, of course, winner will always have bragging rights.
Fortunately, here, late into the second half, we have a 0-0 tie.
So I guess they can possibly both brag that they didn't lose if this keeps on going.
About 2 minutes left.
Call made by the ref on penalty on East. West will have the direct kick, which will be taken by Joe Molinaro. Puts it back to number 36. Kicks it ahead into a crowd where Nick Sassoons outjumps everyone, but the ball is out of his way. Kicked out by number 37 of West, but deflected off an East player, and West will have the corner kick. And we have some West substitutions here in the waning moments of the second half. And we'd like to remind you that if regulation ends in a 0-0 tie, there will be a 10-minute overtime period, of which the full 10 minutes will be played. If no one scores in that period, we will have a second overtime. Once again, 10 minutes. If no one's winning after the second overtime, the game will be declared a tie.
And of course, both squads don't want that. They'd like to win.
Obviously. West with the corner kick. I can get him in the center. Batted away by Earl Walker. There's another shot. Wide of the net. Wide right. David Pactwa will take the kick.
Yeah, he's got a great foot on him, Andy. Maybe that's part of the reason he's playing today.
Doing a fine job filling in for the injured Mike Lean.
Yeah, but we wish Mike the best in his recovery.
We don't know how serious his injury is, and that will not be determined until a later date. Getting back to play, Earl Walker with the punt, where Yin Kobayashi looks to advance it forward, but taken by John Pearson, who puts it ahead to number 37, now to number 43, but turned away by John Brandt, who puts it back to his goalie, Earl Walker.
In these waning moments of second half here, we can see a stronger West offense.
Back near midfield, Pat Thomas puts it ahead to Andrew Jensen. Jensen moves it along for Jason Kenning. It's out of his reach, defended by 46, and taken by West goalie Tom White. Good hustle by East, but White just beat them to it by a step or two.
Ooh.
And the same thing once again there, as Adam Shane was in hot pursuit of that ball.
Makes a great effort, but Tom White is able to pick it up.
Good vision there by Tom White, who saw the ball was coming to him early in the play. So Adam Shane had less time to get to the ball because he made a fine reaction. And as a result, we are still at 0-0. John Pearson moves it along for Anasek.
Ooh. Oh, my.
Anasek, the ball is caught by Earl Walker, but there is goalie interference called on Bill Anasek as he almost tackles Earl Walker, and Walker fumbled, but this is not football.
We can
So
hear
that's
the
a
crowd.
penalty.
And the crowd takes offense to that with a lot of oohs.
Agdawal puts it in play over midfield line to Jason Koenig. Koenig moves it along. Koenig down the center.
Koenig penetrating deep.
Shoots off the post.
Off the post. East's best scoring opportunity of the day.
Great moves there by Jason Koenig, and he drilled that shot just off the post. Had Tom White beat in the upper left corner, but it's off the post, and we are still tied. For East fans, their hearts were in their mouths for a second,
Indeed, Andy, indeed.
and now those hearts are broken. But life goes on. And West will take the kick. Up towards midfield where Pat Thomas heads the ball back.
Let's see if East can capitalize
Dan
on their
Neves.
heavy penetration into West territory.
Neves with another shot for East, but that also wide. To the right. Over the end line. West will have the kick. Looking to get it ahead to 32. Joe Molinaro, who was called for a push off for interference. Pat Thomas puts it in play for East, where it's kicked right into the hands of Tom White. Good aggressive play by Tom. He punts it, where it's taken by Britchko near midfield, looking to get it ahead to Koenig, but taken by number 36. Back to Mike Thiel for West, along to Joe Molinaro. Molinaro still in possession. Looks to his right for Nick Sasonis. And out of bounds off number 36, Ron Zippel. Koenig launches a shot. Taken again by Tom White.
The last play there, we saw the excellent ball handling by Tom Molinaro.
Now Nick Sasonis puts it ahead for number 33, Bill Anisek. Down West right sideline. But out of bounds, last touched by Tony DeCesar, who made a defensive play. And West will have a corner kick. Kick will be taken by number 40, Nick Sasonis.
West is sure hoping to capitalize on this corner in the waning moments of the second half.
There's the kick. Cleared out for a moment by Andrew Jensen. Back to Sasonis, who was unable to handle. Out of bounds off of West. He's possession. Sasonis looking to cross it. Cleared out by John Brand. To midfield. To Yin Kobayashi. Looking to his left for Jason Koenig, but taken away by Nick Sasonis. Sasonis ahead to Mike Thiel. We're stolen by Pat Thomas. Thomas moves along. Fine defensive play by number 30, Jake Wilking. Puts it ahead for Thiel. Now to Wilking. Now to Thiel. Down to his left. Looking for Molinaro. Out of bounds, last touch by East. Number 37 takes the inbound pass for Bill Anisek, who was pushed by Steve Torr. Now we'll get the kick. Be Joe Molinaro taking that.
How long is this half? 40? Oh, that's why.
Molinaro with the kick. Over the net. Earl was there to make the save, but it was slightly over the net.
Let's go! Score one, East!
East will take possession. Steve Torr puts it in play. Yin Kobayashi for East called for holding. West will have the direct, number 46. As he looks to kick it deep, headed out by Andrew Jensen to Yin Kobayashi. To Jason Koenig. Koenig moves it along, back to Yin Kobayashi. Over his head, but he gains control. Being defended by 36 now to Jensen. Jensen moves it along to his right for his brother Martin. Martin down east to right sideline. Looks to center, cleared out by West. Good hustle by Tour to keep control for East. But good defense again by John Pearson for West as he moves out with it. Ahead to Bill Anasek. Anasek, who had number 47 breaking for a moment, unable to get him the ball. And he regroups near midfield to Mike Thiel, stolen by Yin Kobayashi. Put back to Andrew Jensen. Jensen looks across for Kobayashi, but stolen by number 36, Ron Zippel. And 17 is called for a penalty, but that number 17, Andrew Jensen, is called for a penalty.
13.
West will have a direct
13.
kick.
Down.
In the meantime, there is a West injury.
13.
Number 33,
33. Oh, yeah.
Bill Anasek.
Bill is up and walking.
Bill has been a important part of West offense today.
He's had a lot of good plays there, Andy.
I'm sure that West coaching staff does not want to see this happen for various reasons.
Looks like they'll give him a little rest here. And we
And he
resume
will be
play.
replaced momentarily. I'm sure West hopes he can return if need be. Nick Sasonis takes it direct to Joe Molinaro. And though he pushes it away, Koenig, nothing's called. Molinaro saves it from going out of bounds. Centered to number 47, but cleared out by Mike Britchko to Dan Neves. Moves, trying to deke out Mike Thiel, who stays with him for a while, but now Neves comes out of it. It's blocked away by John Pearson, but he's called for a handball. Britchko takes the kick. Ahead, but out of everyone's reach and out of bounds. Over the end line, West will have the kick. Number 46 taking the kick. Short of midfield, whistle's called. Big West ball. Joe Molinaro will put it in play.
I think we're seeing now a little bit more of the West offense here, putting it into Cougar territory.
47 in the West end, blocked away by Earl, who was caught off guard by that shot. Fine shot by number 47 for West. And almost broke the scoreless tie. Earl just able to regain his composure in time to get to that shot. Now Martin Jensen in East End tries to save it, but is unable to. It's out of bounds. And that brings us to the end of the second half, where we are still in a deadlocked in a 0-0 tie. There will be a brief intermission right now before we start the first 10-minute overtime. If there is a score on which one team has a lead after the 10 minutes, that the leading team will be declared the winner. If not, we will go to a second 10-minute overtime. If there is no score after that, the game will be declared a tie.
I think, Andy, what we got to see, Andy, here is these coaches are really going to stress to their players the importance of offense right now. Maybe putting an extra guy out there to tip the balance and score a goal.
One of the main objectives in the soccer overtime is to try to get the quick goal, and then, as you said, put in the extra attacker to get that quick goal, and then, of course, it will go back to a defensive style so they can try to hold off the other team for the remainder of the 10 minutes so that they can get the victory in the first 10-minute overtime.
Well said, Andy.
And we will be back after this message.
Everyone has their own idea of a hero.
Magic Johnson. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mr. Neil. My hero, Gloria Stefan.
Martin Luther King. Mr. Hope.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes. They've given them hope. They've given them choices. They've changed their lives.
Well, the children are the heroes.
The most fulfilling thing is watching a child succeed.
I just like to help them make their dreams come true.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. If you want to make an impact on our future, call 1-800-45-TEACH.
Mr. Wilkins.
Mrs. Eisenhower. Mr. Adler.
Be a teacher. Be a hero.
Welcome back. This is Andrew DeChristopher along with Barry Schwartz as we approach the start of the first overtime period here in East-West 0-0 tie. As you look at the coin flip, which will decide who has first possession and who will defend which goal. In regulation, both teams had several scoring opportunities, and I'm actually very surprised that we've not seen a goal. Aren't you, Barry?
Oh, yeah, especially Jason Koenig's shot on goal there in about the middle of the second half. It was a real disappointment for these fans.
Yes, Koenig made some brilliant moves there and had an incredible shot. I thought it was a sure goal, but it hit off the post. And then for West, Earl seemed to be sleeping back in net for East, and he was caught off guard by a shot by number 47, which almost was the game-deciding goal. Earl did wake up in time to get that one, and as a result, here we go for the second overtime. East has apparently won the toss and gets the tap.
Guess we can expect that the coaches said to the players down in the break, you know, they mentioned that how important offense is right now, and to take the chance and leaving the net open just a bit, or leaving the goalie unprotected, rather.
Cherry Hill West will be moving to our left, East to our right. Tom White and Earl Walker are still the goalies for East and West, respectively. And we're back in play. Martin Jensen moves along the right side to Jason Koenig. Koenig looks like he has some space in front of him, but number 46 picks up ground quite quickly and makes a nice play. We have a little bit of a tussle down there. Jason Koenig was pushed from behind by a West player, and Koenig took retaliation and was given a yellow card.
Jason was?
Some East fans not happy with that call. Now we have one coming the other way. This game's getting a little bit physical, more physical than the referees want to see. East will have possession.
Looks like
Koenig
some
will
of
put it in play.
Looks like some of the players on both squads are confusing the terms assertive and aggressive.
Well, they might be getting feisty now. I'm sure they want to win this as soon as possible. Get out of here. Kenning with a nice shot on goal, but stopped by Tom White, who's played a brilliant goal at times and has kept West in this. Thomas heads the ball back in the East offensive zone to Martin Jensen, looking ahead for Shane. Can't get it there. Regathered by Lisak. Over to Yin Kubayashi, looking down to his left for Tony DeCesar. But that's stolen away by Bill Anasek, who has returned from his injury, as we are happy to report. And he moves it along for number 32, Joe Molinaro, who puts it across, but it's taken by Earl Walker. Makes a stop.
Not just a stop, Andy, but a fantastic stop there.
Yes, because West was in hot pursuit of that one. So good judgment by Earl to get out on that ball and take it. Nick Sasonis will put it in play for West as the head ball goes off of Brand and out of bounds. Pearson for West puts it down to his left to number 47. Back to Sasonis, now to 47.
What? I told you I wasn't exactly dealing with Einstein's back there.
Last touch by East. And will be a corner kick for West.
West corner.
No, it's not a corner. It would just be an inbound pass. The ball did not trickle past the end line. And there's a shot on goal. Had a odd spin to it. Earl had a little bit of trouble judging that one, but is able to take control, punts it out. Where Nick Sasonis puts the ball back into play off his head to 37.
Unfortunately for the East squad, throughout the contest, maybe I'll hold that comment.
We'll get right back to there, Barry. We have a call. West is called for a push. Tony DeCesar was the victim of some foul play, and John Brand will take the kick. Getting back to your comment there, Barry?
Yeah, kind of the disappointment of probably the East coaches and players. Walker's, although he's been doing a good job protecting the goal, his punting has been a little lacking. Maybe they're going to work with that before the next game.
A little delay in the action as referee is explaining his call to the West coach, who apparently did not understand.
Who's that?
And now we'll get play underway. Brand with the kick. And we have another stoppage.
Uh-oh.
Cherry Hill West coach, who has been getting on the ref's case for that last call, is carded. It's Mr. Bill Sleeth. Mr. Bill Sleeth, the coach of the Cherry Hill West Lions, is carded. Lost his composure there with the refs, and the ref did not take it lightly. But now West will try to put all the carding aside as they put it ahead to Anasek, now to Sasonis. Sasonis has it kicked away by Martin Jensen, who makes a fine defensive play. Keeps Sasonis from having the opportunity to center that ball where East goal was vulnerable. Good play by Jensen.
Yeah, he's been a real contributor today, Andy.
But Jensen did kick it over the end line, so West will have a corner kick. taken by number 47. Puts it in front of the goal. Or it's batted out by Earl, who was then knocked into, and there's a call made. It's the second time that Earl has been bumped into. He's having a rough time. It's a good thing he's a rugby player,
Yeah.
so he's used to it. As Toro puts it ahead for Jensen, who's unable to control it and kicks it out of bounds. Nick Sassonis puts it back in play for number 47. Now John Pearson looking across to Molinaro, who puts it ahead down his right, but out of everyone's reach and out of bounds. David Pactois will be returning for Steve Turr. Earl takes control and will be punting once again. He's looking to Jensen, but he's out-jumped by Sassonis. Jensen recovers and puts it ahead to Koenig.
Unfortunately, again, we see the lacking in Walker's punting.
It's caught off of John Pearson. John Pearson also held up Koenig there on the sideline, but nothing was called. Ian Kobayashi puts it back to DeCesar. DeCesar has it taken away by number 33. Anasek, who's defended well by John Brand. And Brand puts it right into the arms of Earl Walker. Earl will once again punt. Looking for Yin Kobayashi, but he's pushed away by number 37. Roughing is called on West. Bridgekill puts it back in play. There's another push down there if you're watching. Warren Lisek was pushed over by Jake Wilking. Nothing called there. Play continues down the left side for Adam Shane. Wilking with the defense there. Kicks it aside out of bounds. West will have possession. If you are just to join us, we are deadlocked in a 0-0 tie here in the first overtime. East gets it in there. Shot on Tom White is first in quite some time in this overtime. Nice punt by White near center field. Number 47, who's defended by Brand. Brand is doing a fine defensive job today and has kept West scoring chances to a minimum. We resume play. Lisak puts it ahead. Looking for Shane, but out of his reach. Moved back ahead by West. Or Molinaro. To Thiel. To Wilkin. Now Martin Jensen comes out of it. Pat Thomas. Call made by the ref for a elbow, I believe. And it will be East ball. And that brings us to the end of overtime number 1. We are still deadlocked in a 0-0 tie. We'll have another brief intermission, and we will be back after this.
Bill, I'm worried.
Why, honey? Those hunters haven't been around here in months.
No, I'm worried about your cholesterol level. I don't want you to have a heart attack.
But, honey, I'm a doc.
Heredity is only part of it. You've also got to watch what you eat, like not stuffing yourself with foods high in saturated fats and cholesterol.
Next thing, you'll want me to give up my poker night.
Watch what you eat as if your life depended on it. It does.
If you won't do it for yourself, do it for the kids.
And welcome back to Heritage Junior School Field for the second overtime. Andrew Christopher here along with Barry Schwartz. Scoreless tie 0-0.
Andy, this is where it happens. You know, this is the final overtime. There's no shootout. So if a team's going to make a move, now's the time to do it.
If no one scores, there will be a tie declared, and this is not sudden death. The full 10-minute period will be played, no matter who scores and when. As West gets the tap, West will be defending to our left, East to our right. Both goaltenders have done a fine job today. We have a double shutout so far. Yin Kobayashi for East puts it ahead to Warren Lisak. Lisak along the sideline has it stolen by number 36. 36 called for action. Lisak with the inbound pass, looking for Kobayashi, but taken away by Jake Wilking. Now another inbound pass, looking for Dan Navas. But fine defense by number 46 for West, who puts it back to the goalie. Now the punt is taken by Thomas. Now to Kobayashi. Now 37 for West. Puts it ahead down the sideline. Out of bounds. East ball. David Pactois with the inbound pass. Looking for Lisak. Taken away by Wilking, but is abruptly put out of bounds. Lisak with the inbounds. Looking for Jason Koenig down the left sideline. Fine defense by Pearson. West is having a fine game. And please do remember that at the end of our game, we will be naming the players of the game. So stay tuned for that. Be a hard choice here if we don't have a goal, as both teams have played very well. As you see right there, Wilking and Lisak battling for the ball. Goes out of bounds, last touch by West. Lisak with the inbound pass to Yin Kobayashi. Down to Dan Navas. Navas moves it along. Looks to center. No one there to take it. And now, Britchko with the shot. Save made by White.
He is really a fine goalie.
If there isn't a goal scored, I think I have a player of the game in mind. And his last name begins with a W.
Mark up, West. Everybody's got a man. Standing around.
We're not going to tell you anything more.
Right.
We don't want to ruin the suspense. As we see the corner kick by Koenig. Good shot. And they had another opportunity, but wide off of the head of an East player somewhere in that crowd. Over the end line, West takes the kick.
Again, we see the power of Tom White's defense. Really keeping East out.
Navas centers it for Koenig, who was right there, but he couldn't get to it in time. Sails wide. We have a call made. We have a call made by the referee. Eastwood is going to have a penalty kick. A penalty kick here in the second overtime, and this is crucial.
Crucial indeed, Andy. This most likely will decide the game.
It very well could. Tom White, who's had a fine game, unfortunate for him that he has to face a penalty shot. Has a game in a fine shutout game put in jeopardy with a penalty shot, but that's what the call was.
Jake Koenig will take the penalty shot.
Jason Koenig, one of East's finest players. Koenig is a key weapon for East offense, and West coach is looking for an explanation of the card, which was given to number 36. He was carded and given a penalty.
Ejected? Yeah, and he will be ejected from the game.
Which must mean he was either given a yellow card and he continued to complain and was given another, which then results in a red card and an automatic ejection, or he was given a red card in the first place. I think it was 2 yellow cards, because usually you'll get the first and then you'll continue to complain, and the refs just don't want to put up with it, and they'll give you a second.
That's usually how it's done there, Andy.
And this is crucial to the game. Jason Koenig will take a penalty shot. The score tied 0-0 in the second overtime.
Tensions are high here at Heritage School as Jay Koenig is about to take his penalty shot.
There's a long break after the call was made, so Koenig and White have had plenty of time to think about this. And I don't think that makes it any easier for either of the players involved.
Here it is.
With the shot. Shoots, he scores! Jason Koenig scores on the penalty shot. It is 1-0 East. Here in overtime number 2, Koenig with the goal. Now on the penalty shot, the goalie has to make... The East fans are going crazy as East takes the lead, and the West fans
have
are
just cleared
filing
out the bench.
Now, as I was saying, those penalty shots are extremely difficult for a goalie. He must make his decision before the shot and basically guess as to which side he's going to dive to. In this case, Tom White guessed the wrong way, and Koenig got a lucky break. As
kind of a disappointment. Tom White has had a real fine outing here today.
Tom White guessed left, Jason Koenig shot right, and as a result, it is 1-0. Unfortunate for Tom White, yes, as you said, he's had a brilliant game today. Ball's put in play by West as they will try to get an equalizer. And East, of course, will be just basically be playing to keep West off the board and out of their end. Not really playing for a goal. If a goal should come about,
East will be glad to take it. We're about halfway through the second overtime. East leading 1-0.
And then we have a little tussle on there. Some feisty players between Warren Lesak and number 32, Molinaro. Molinaro seemed to be wrestling him to the ground, and Lesak did not appreciate that. And Lesak may have retaliated, but his teammates did pull him away from the play.
Number 32.
And Warren Lesak gets a yellow card. Get yellow cards and are removed from the game.
Yeah, although fighting is never excusable, Andy, you know, tensions are really running high, and these players, very determined, very upset because of the low scoring, may have, for lack of a better term, flipped their lids.
And Warren Lesak will be replaced by Mittal Sheth here with approximately 7 minutes remaining in the second overtime.
Closer than that, it's like 5.
Come on now, Wes, play with your head. Ball control.
We will have a drop ball between number 33 and Mike Britchko. It's number 33 for West, taken now by Nick Sasonis over midfield. Looks to get something going here for West, as they are running out of time, with East leading here 1-0. Whistle's blown. West will have possession. Pearson takes a shot on goal. Walker makes the saves and keeps West off the board.
Here we'll see another one of Walker's punts. We'll see how this one comes out.
Good hang time on that punt. Gets it to Jensen. Now Thomas looks to clear out. Yin Kobayashi makes a fine play. Gets it over the midfield line. And West will have to regroup. Britchko puts it back over in midfield to Mittal Sheth. To Yin Kobayashi. Make that Dan Davis.
And
Davis
deep penetration into the West territory by number 3.
But good defense by number 46 for West. So I guess that's a number 33, Bill Anasek. Up Up ahead to Dan Navis. Now taken by Jake Wilkin for West. Up over midfield to his left. Turned aside by Steve Turr for East. Midfield, Dan Navis puts it ahead looking for in Kubayashi.
Tom Wright with another with another one of his fine punts. And play stops.
Roughing is called on East. Someone in that crowd was pushing off. West will have the kick. Ball's put in play. We come into the final few minutes. There's a shot on goal. Earl makes the stop.
Fine stop by Earl Walker.
Every save is important at this time. Pearson puts it back ahead, but turned aside by Brand. Now Anasek moves around to his right. Stolen by Jason Kenny. Good defensive play. He's kicked.
East ball.
He is kicked by number 33, Anasek, and he is down. Jason Koenig is down with an injury as he was kicked in the back of the leg, I believe. With a spike in the back of the leg, and I'm sure that doesn't tickle. Doesn't seem to be anything serious. We sure hope it isn't. Some tense moments for East fans. There's not many fans remain, only a faithful few. Most of West fans were.
And Jason is up.
Jason gets up and walks off on his own power. It's always good to see that. I believe it may just have been from the fact that he got hit in the back of the leg by a spike. And as I said, that does not tickle.
Indeed not, Andy, indeed not.
But he gets up, seems to be okay. He will be taken out of the game by Coach Molman and replaced by Adam Shane.
East will pick up the ball deep into Lion territory.
Kobayashi will take the inbounds pass to Adam Shane. Shane, nice move around number 46. But down end line. Good defense by West to force it off of Shane, and they will get the kick. Sasonis. To number 47, who moves around Tour. Turned aside by Britchko. It's a fine team effort here today by East. Britchko with good hustle, but he's deked out slightly. Call on West. John Molinaro will put it in play.
Right now, it's very important for the West Lions to capitalize on every penetration they have into Cougar territory.
Jensen clears it out over the midfield line. We approach the last few moments here of the second overtime. East leading 1-0. Natal puts it ahead for Adam Shane.
Adam Shane looks
clear, but cut off by number 46 by West. Turns aside, kicks it out of bounds. Will be East ball. Kobayashi will take the inbounds pass. .30 seconds left here in the second overtime. East leading 1-0. And if there's anything going to be done by West, it has to be now. They have very little time. 47 trying to make a last push. Puts it ahead. Put back by Brand to Earl. Making the easy save from his own teammate, John Brand. Now he punts it out. And that is it. The game is over. East has won by a score of 1-0.
On the penalty.
On a goal scored by Jason Koenig, which was a penalty kick. Tough way for West to lose. Great way for East to win. I'm sure they'll take it. East moves to 3-2. West falls to 1-3.
And there is the mother of Jason Koenig, our only goal scorer of the day.
And Jason Koenig is one of the co-players of the game. Jason Koenig from East, along with Tom White of West, the goaltender, who had a tough loss. The only goal scored on him was on the penalty shot. Tough way for him to lose. He had an incredible game, kept West in this game, turned aside numerous scoring chances by East. And it's really unfortunate for him, and we congratulate both he and Jason Koenig,
The
Coca-Cola players of the game. Barry, what are your final impressions of this game?
Well, as the game, is over, I think I was really impressed, as most people were, by the good ball handling of both squads out here. Jason Koenig in particular, he really did his job as a forward, and we were all impressed by his performance as the only goal scorer of the day.
Both teams had a good team effort. Things got a little bit feisty there at the end. East comes away with the victory. And that's all. So for Barry Schwartz, this has been Andrew DeChristopher for Cable 18, where Cherry Hill East Cougars have defeated the Cherry Hill West Lions by a score of 1-0. See you next time.
Later, folks.